Volvo. Oh no, wait, not today. However, Sweden product. Hello, I'm XUTT and today I will be talking about Håkan Bråkan and Josef. 20 years since the premiere of this film is a good opportunity to say a few words about it and take a closer look of this popular Swedish character. The Håkan himself is much older. He made his debut in 1983. As I just say, it all started in 1983 when 20 years old Anders Jacobsson heard that Sweden's radio Rebro was looking for radio programs, where the author himself could decide the content as long as it has a local connection. So he wrote an episode about Sune, a 7-year-old boy who went to 5th grade. He was not a tall guy who used it to fight or play football, instead he was more interested in girls. According to Wikipedia, it was a character type rarely written about in children's literature. The first recording met with a positive response, so more were created. Because of the radio success, the local book publisher, Hagas, contacted Anders. They wanted to publish the series in book form. So he joined forces with his cousin, Sören Olsson, who illustrated the book titled Sagan Sune. The book was published just in time for Christmas 1984. Sören Olsson very quickly went from being just an illustrator to being a co-author. Just as quickly, after 3 books, the authors directed their creative energy to make a new series, again going against the typical portrayal of boys, because this time it's the story of an 11-year-old boy named Bert, who did something forbidden. He wrote a diary. Both series are still being published. They also created several other series together. 6-book series about Emanuel Hjort, 11-book series about Big Sister and Little Brother, 3-book series about Tunva Lisa Johansson, and many non-serious things. But focusing on the first 2 series, we got a lot of books in both, and their various adaptations. Starting with Bird Diaries, we got comic and television adaptations, TV series from 1994, films from 1995 and from 2020. And the Sun series got a lot more adaptations. The first film adaptation is from 1993, and the first series is, believing Wikipedia, from 1987. In Sweden, since 1916, there has been a tradition of a special Christmas program, first called Swedish Television Advent Calendar, since 1971, known as Swedish Television Christmas Calendar. I won't try to pronounce the Swedish names, you can see them on the screen. Every year a special series is created, aimed at the youngest. Typically, although there have been exceptions, it has 24 episodes and one is broadcasted every day from December 1 to 24. Along with each series, there is always the opportunity to buy a paper calendar with a window to open each day. The windows usually contain images of something related to the plot of that day's episode. I say this, of course, because as part of this tradition, we got 2 series. In 1991, Sune's June, and in 2003, Håkan Bråkan. Exactly, Håkan. It was supposed to be about him, I mentioned him in the introduction, and well, long silence. Håkan, nicknamed Håkan Bråkan, which can be translated as Håkan the Troublemaker or Håkan the Menace, is the younger brother of the main and title character of the Sun series. This character has been in the series since the very beginning, both in books and adaptations, but since 1998 he has become independent in the sense that he stopped being the hero of books with Sun in the title, but got his own series with his name in the title. Again, I won't try to massacre the Swedish by reading the titles of the books, but there were a lot of them. And in 2003, we got into the mentioned before 24 episode series, and a secret advent calendar and a special game. This game consists of 24 missions that the player goes through to advance to the next day. The missions are unlocked through a code that is revealed after the new episode of the TV show. In 2004, we also got a film continuation of the series, with the same actors in the main roles, etc. And it's this film that I will talk about in a moment. But first, I will mention that in 2022 and 2024, we have also got 2 films about this character. It's worth paying attention if someone wants to look for them to watch on their own. However, my general research suggests that outside of Sweden, in case of the most of the films, it's not very possible to watch these films, regardless of whether they are ordered or newer. But you have to check this for yourself for your country. But moving on to the main topic, Håkan Bråkan and Josef. The film deals with the typical problem of a new baby and the fact that the previous youngest one stops getting as much attention as before. This is exactly what happens to Håkan. His little sister Isabel appears in his life. Initially, he intends to be a great older brother, but quickly the change of priorities at home starts to bother him. Let's talk about the reason why this recording was made at all. The turtle appears about 15 minutes into the film and immediately starts talking. You can have some association with from Terry Pratchett's book Small Gods. At last, that's what it reminded me of.
kolla på ormarna. Kolla vad stor den är.
Hallå, du, killen. Här, bakom dig. Ja, du är i röda munkjackan där. Ja. Monten här nere i... Höger, höger, höger. Lite neråt. Ja, just det. Tjena! Du, killen. Du måste köpa.
The talking turtle itself is an interesting issue. No other animal in the film talked to the fact that the turtle, named Joseph, keeps talking. No one besides Håkan pays any attention. No one else talks to him or anything. Because of the scene with the electricians who come to help with the electrical work at home, but Håkan has a vision that they have come to take him to the store with children because their parents want to get rid of him, you can assume that all the turtle's talking and behaviors are actually Håkan's imagination. The machined electricians look extremely different in Håkan's eyes than in reality. The turtle as a reflection of Håkan's talk seems to make a lot of sense. I wondered for a long time what he was really up to, why he keeps setting Håkan against his sister so much. It doesn't make any sense, but if we accept the above interpretation, well, it makes a lot more sense. And whether that was the creator's intention, I have no idea. In addition to the plot of the main character and the turtle, the film also gives some time to his parents, to older siblings, including Sune, and the neighbor with whom they live in a close relationship. Am I glad that I know this film? Yes. Would I recommend it to others as something worth checking out? No. Unless someone like me is looking for films with turtles. Finally, some turtle trivia. Both information come from IMDb trivia section. I haven't verified them. The first is that this is the first Swedish film with a computer-generated character, and the second is that Joseph was originally supposed to be a guinea pig, but was changed to a turtle because Swedish effect house Fido Film thought that a turtle would have more options when it came to facial animation. I suspect that the main reason for the change was that a reptile-like turtle is much easier to animate than a guinea pig with fur. That's all for now. Thank you for watching. Leave a like and subscribe if you liked it, and I hope to see you again in the next video. Bye!